the world is a really negative place. You're watching the news, you're seeing people getting killed, you're seeing fires, you're seeing people getting raped, right? All these negative things. And what happens is, because you have formed this idea, wow, this world's a pretty bad place. There's a lot of bad people in the world. And you think that a lot because you've been watching the television a lot and you've been seeing that message over and over again. That creates a program in your mind. And the problem is, when that program is formed and it's installed in your operating system, in your computer, in your brain, in your subconscious mind, now what happens is that program can be triggered anytime. Well, what do I mean? This is what I mean. Imagine that you've been programmed with the idea that the world is a pretty bad place because you've been watching on the news over and over that, seeing all these negative things. So you have this program inside that says the world is a negative place. Then you're out with a friend and they say something about a person who did a negative thing to someone else. Do you know what happens? What do you think happens? That program that you have inside of your mind that says the world is a bad place gets activated. And when that program gets activated, what do you think happens? Do you think more thoughts like that or less thoughts like that? Well, obviously the answer is you think more thoughts like that. And the more thoughts you think like that, what is it doing to that program that's already installed that says this world is a bad place? The more thoughts you have which agree with this world is a bad place, guess what's happening to that program? The program's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It's sort of like a snowball that's rolling down a hill and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. The more that we have thoughts, the more that the outside world triggers that program that's inside of our mind and it generates these negative thoughts, the more that program expands like the snowball. The bigger it gets, the stronger it gets, the more powerful it gets. And guess what? You don't have to do anything. Because it's a program that's installed, what's happened is now anytime anything comes close to looking like the world is a bad place, that program's going to be activated. And all of those thoughts that were generated over all the years about how the world is a bad place will be activated. And no matter what you see with your eyes in the outside world, it will appear that this world is a very bad place. Why is this so important to understand? The reason it's important is, did you choose to decide one day that this world is a bad place, that there's bad people living in this world? In other words, did you wake up one morning, not imagine you haven't watched any television, you were just kind of born into this world, but you have the ability to think. You're not a child. You were born with the ability to think right away. It was a miracle. Would you think that this world is a bad place without having any knowledge of anything else? And the answer is no. But what happens is we turn on the television, we watch TV, we watch the news, we scroll on social media, we go on X, we look at all these sources that are giving us, based on an algorithm, they're giving us more of what it is that we are already programmed with. So if I'm programmed with this world is a bad place, or there's a million conspiracy theories out there, not to say that there aren't conspiracy theories, there probably are. But if I'm programmed that way, then every single time that I see anything that looks close to that, all those thoughts that have been stored in my mind, all of those ideas that I've heard and seen and watched, they're all going to be activated, and I am going to see the world from that perspective. The good news in all of this is you were programmed. You were programmed by all of these outside sources. You did not choose to have these kind of ideas and thoughts. They were programmed, and they were programmed by outside sources.